Good morning and welcome to the USA Wager Sports Brief. I am your host, Rodney Newple. We are rocking and rolling. This is Tuesday, June 15th, halfway through the month of June already. The dog days of summer are here. Let's get ready for the show. The USA Wager Sports Brief with Rodney Newple right here on the Sports Point 2.0 Network and USA Wager. All right, there's our little delayed intro. Sorry about the real brief miscue there. Well, let's get started with the show here as we'll start in the NBA, as always, with the NBA playoffs. And the big news last night was the Atlanta Hawks evened the series against the top-seeded Philadelphia 76ers. 103-100 winner last night. Philadelphia just 38 second-half points in the loss. Joel Embiid only ended up with 17. Trae Young, 25 points, 18 assists. And now that series is tied 2-2. They will head back to Philadelphia for the best of three now remaining in that series on Wednesday. Take today off, go to Philadelphia on Wednesday. Best of three between the Hawks and the 76ers. And both teams have won one home game and one road game. So it's up for grabs. A little bit of depth problem for the 76ers last night. Joel Embiid was not great, and Philadelphia really struggled to score in the second half. So 103-100, that was the big news in the NBA last night. The other game, is also big news because the top seed in the West is in a 2-2 tie as well. The Clippers won 118-104. Clippers now won back-to-back home games in that series to even up the series. Both Paul George and Kawhi Leonard very good in that game, and that's why I think the Clippers have a little bit of hope to win this series. They have two guys that can really take over a game. Now, Donovan Mitchell is a tremendous player, a fantastic player, and has been great. He had 37 last night. He's got a little knee issue, a little bit concerned about his injuries, but hey, the Clippers have two guys in Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, and we've seen Kawhi Leonard, and when he doesn't want to lose, he doesn't want to lose. Clippers led by 24 points at halftime last night. So the Clippers and the Jazz, 118-104, Clippers topped the Jazz. They'll get back at it. Salt Lake City on Wednesday. All right, tonight's game. We'll go game 5 in Brooklyn. Bucks, Nets. Bucks are actually favored on the road. No Kyrie Irving, no James Harden. Now, Irving, I guess, is questionable. Harden is out. That's interesting and very, very bad news for the Brooklyn Nets. Very bad news for the Brooklyn Nets, as Milwaukee is likely better when those two out. Now, Kevin Durant is still a game changer. He is still the man. Now, you're basically putting Durant against Greek Freak, and you're putting the depth of the Bucks against the depth of the Nets, and I like Milwaukee in that matchup. So they are 4.5-point favorites on the road. Do not be surprised if this stays within that 4.5. I do think it's going to be a close game no matter what Brooklyn does to stay in it. I think it's going to be a very fun, interesting game. I'd probably stay away from the spread and look at a total here, but the 4.5 certainly interesting as Milwaukee is the favorite on the road. All right, the question for today, the Suns are resting. They finished their series on Sunday. Right? Yeah, Sunday night. Game 5s are coming up. Then you're at least going to go 6, Thursday, Friday, somewhere around there. They're likely going to have up to a week or more off. Obviously, if it goes 7, that's into Sunday, and they're going to have to play in the next week, so up to 9 days off. So is that good or bad for the Suns? Now, CP3 obviously could use the rest, so that's probably good. Some of the younger guys, I don't know as if they need that many days off. But that's the question for today. Shoot me a comment, send us a tweet throughout the day, whatever you want to do to get a hold of us. But the Suns resting up to a week, probably even more. Is that good or bad for the second seed in the West? Let's move to the ice last night. Vegas looked good, came away with the winner. If you listen to the Put the Kids to Bed version of the Sports 2.0 show on Sunday night, Tim Air Jordan Van Stratton mentioned that he didn't think Montreal would win a game in this series and Vegas would win them relatively easy. There's one down, 3 to go. I actually tend to agree with him. I don't think Montreal can compete in this series. I like Vegas to win this one, and I still think they'll take on Tampa Bay, but that's yet to be seen. So game 1, Vegas came away with a 4-1 win. Marc-Andre Fleury with 28 saves, and several guys scored goals for Vegas in that one. They'll get back at it on Wednesday. Game 2's in Tampa tonight between the Islanders and the Lightning. The Islanders won game 1. Tampa really needs game 2 at home. They're minus 200, so the Lightning are big favorites in that one. Tampa really, really needs that one. I still think it's Tampa and Vegas in the Stanley Cup Finals, but that is yet to be seen. All right, let's move to Major League Baseball last night. The Monday scores. Monday, June 14th. A few interesting games. Kyle Schwarber hit a home run for the Nationals. They won 3-2. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hit his 22nd home run of the season but Toronto lost. That was their only run. Boston beat the Blue Jays 2-1. The Dodgers topped the Phillies 3-1. Another well-pitched game for the Dodgers. The Mets topped the Cubs 5-2. Cincinnati beat the Brewers 10-2. Joey Votto with a home run. He also drove in a run earlier in the game. The Giants continue to play good baseball. They're now 16 games over 500 as they beat the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks have now lost 20 straight road games, and the Cardinals beat the Miami Marlins 4-2. And those are a look at the Monday Major League Baseball games. All right, let's look at Tuesday. Tuesday, that's tonight in Major League Baseball. The Yankees are at the Blue Jays. Blue Jays are minus 125. Hung-Ju Rui pitches in that one for the Blue Jays. Texas is at Houston. Dallas Keuchel on the mound for the Astros. Astros are small favorites in that one. I should have mentioned Toronto is a small favorite at minus 125 against the Yankees. Cubs are at the Mets. Taijuan Walker is on the mound for the Mets, minus 150 in that game. As is the Mets won last night. They look to win their second straight against the Cubs. And Julio Urias is on the mound for the Dodgers as they take on the Philadelphia Phillies. Urias is a favorite against the Phillies at home. And that is a look at a few of my favorite Major League Baseball games for Tuesday. All right, let's look at WNBA action. There are a few games in the WNBA. The big mismatch is the Storm at the Fever. The Storm are 10-2. The Fever are 1-11. Not good. Fever not good at basketball right now. That is a matchup that, if you do get some lines out for, if you do get betting lines out for, make sure you take the Storm. There is not enough points there for the Fever to cover. And then the other games are the Sky at the Lynx and the Liberty are at the Aces. That is your WNBA matchups for Tuesday, June 15th. All right, a couple other things left here. The U.S. Open is 2 days away. So we'll certainly have plenty of coverage of that. Let's look at a few of the U.S. Open odds. A few guys that are at the top. Now, I'll give you the top 9 on the betting board. John Rahm plus 1,000, so 10-1. Dustin Johnson's plus 16-1. Bryson DeChambeau's 18-1. So is Brooks Koepka. That'd be interesting if those two got paired up final day. Rory McIlroy's 20-1. Jordan Spieth also 20-1, along with Xander Schauffele at 20-1. Colin Moriarty and Justin Thomas, 22-1. A little bit interesting, I think, Justin Thomas at 22-1. I feel like he should be more in the 18-1, even 16-1 with DJ, Bryson, and Brooks. He hasn't played great, here in the summer, early part of the summer. But Justin Thomas at 22-1, certainly one I'm going to be looking at. And then the winner of the last major, Phil Mickelson, getting a lot of money put on him. A lot of money. In fact, most amount of money bet on the U.S. Open so far has been on Phil Mickelson, which no way. I don't think he can back-to-back. I mean, if he does, that's fantastic, and I would love to see it. But at 50-1, maybe you put a flyer on him, but the amount of money that has been put on him is astronomical. I don't like him for that. So Phil Mickelson plus 5,000, 50-1 to win the U.S. Open. All right, that is the greatest, the best 10 minutes of your sports day. This is the USA Wager Show, Sports Brief with Rodney Newple. Hopefully you listened in to the latest U.S. betting news with Ryan Newpol and all of the other shows that have been going on. Golf Guys will be tomorrow night. I'll be back with Tim Van Stratton tomorrow night as well for the Put the Kids to Bed version. But every day right here at 9:30 a.m. Central Time, we will be on with the USA Wager Sport Brief. I am Rodney Newpol. So long for just a while. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.